Happy Saturday. It's your girl G.I. Jada back at it again with another successful Saturdays. I am so excited about this one today, as of course every week I am, all right? So shout out to my last week's guest at A Dose of Health. That's a dose, period, of health. And you can rewatch that interview on my IGTV in case you missed it, all right? We had a fun giveaway on there. And don't worry if you missed the giveaway. We will be doing more in the future. I think it's going to be like every time she drops a new product, boom, do a giveaway. So make sure you guys follow her so you can stay updated on the latest products as well as the next giveaway. And it was just like a part 2. We got caught up. She had been on Successful Saturdays before, and we just were getting updated on her journey. A lot of changes, a lot of growth, a lot of progress. And we love to see that here. We love to see that here at Successful Saturdays. Shout out to everyone tuned on right now so far. Y'all be ready for me to get on here. I love it. So I do have an affirmation today. I'm not gonna give y'all the words today. I can catch that on my story, but I do have today's affirmation. I think I will wait until some more people get on. I gotta get that damn sea moss gel. Yes. I tried the sea moss gel before. I liked it. However, I'm really excited about the capsules because it's like more, just pop the capsule and go. But for someone like yourself, Bianca, especially because you make smoothies like all day, every day, you would love the sea moss gel for sure. I just want to send this out to some people before I get into the affirmation. Hello, everyone tuned in, and welcome to Successful Saturdays. If it's your first time here, shout out to you. You can go check out all the other episodes on my IGTV. What up, DJ? Send this to a few more people, and then be on my way. Can y'all hear my spa music? That's what I typed in today. All right, I think I've sent it to enough people. Hey, my little sister's on here. Shout out to her. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the affirmation. And it's a moon affirmation, and it comes from Moon Omens. So if you follow Moon Omens, they be having really good affirmations. Yes, it's so relaxing. I'm in a relaxing, just Zen mode today. So today's affirmations, and you guys heard, my little sister is so ratchet. Just like me, everybody in the family. So, all right, repeat after me. I'll give y'all a little bit of time. You don't have to type anything. What up, Philo, Jasper Philo? So, I focus on my goals and ideas. So repeat that. I focus on my goals and ideas. And say this out loud, guys. Say this out loud. I focus on my goals and ideas. I create a vision for the future. I put energy and effort into the life I want to experience. Am I going too fast? So I focus on my goals and ideas. I create a vision for the future. I put energy and effort into the life I want to experience. I'm open to the opportunities that facilitate my desires. I manifest my dreams into reality. So say that again. I manifest my dreams into reality. I think that's the most important line right there. and the overall gist of what's going on. Now I got to speed things up. I'm getting a little bit behind my schedule. I just want to shout out all my women in honor of Women's History Month. I even have my pink Moscato to honor all my women today. And I will go through a list. I definitely want to recognize all the women that have been on my Successful Saturdays. And I do have a long list, so we'll get to that. I definitely want to get our special guest on here, Miss Pennie of For Your Thoughts Pod, where psychology, pop culture, and self meet. All right, and it's available on all platforms. So that's For Your Thoughts Pod. I'm actually going to go ahead and pin that really quickly before I get her on here. All right, and also in honor of Women's History Month, I just want you all to shout out some of your favorite women of all time in history. It could be anybody. If you need a moment to think about that, but I definitely want to see, shout out some women in the Hi, Queen.
Hey.
Oh, let me zoom myself out a little bit.
How do I let me put my favorite filter on. Hold on.
Do your thing.
Okay. I can actually move this back more. Hold on one second. I didn't realize how close.
Yeah, when you get on here with someone, it does. Mine was kind of close too, but I was working on my backdrop. Y'all see I got my little plant.
Yes, it's cute.
Going on here. I actually want to move it over just a little bit. I want to see that. It's a fake plant. I'm not like you. You'll have to teach me how to.
No, it's cute. I like it. Okay.
All right. So, yes, I am going to go back. Before I get off, I'm definitely going to go through this long list of amazing women that have been on my Successful Saturdays. Okay, some of them already tuned in right now. So y'all just stay tuned. Y'all might hear y'all name get shouted out if you're on here. So a little icebreaker that I wanted to do, I got 2 questions. Everyone can answer. So drop your answers below.
Okay.
First, we'll ask Pennie, what time of the day are you most productive?
Dead ass. I'm most productive, honestly, at nighttime. Like, literally, I feel like all my ideas start to hit around like 12 a.m. And like back in college, I used to like do all my studying like overnight type stuff, but obviously that's not like quote unquote productive for how society, views things. You're supposed to do things in the daytime, but I've just learned to like go with the flow of just like if I do better at nighttime with work, that's just what I do now these days. But definitely like between 12 and 3.
Yeah. 12 a.m. and
12 a.m. and like 3 a.m.
We got a night owl here.
Yeah.
Y'all can drop if you're a morning person, a night person. We got Queen Trace of Fonse Cosmetics, which is also one of the brands I'm going to shout out, but there's your shout out early. She said 12 p.m.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good time. I feel like for myself, I don't think I have a particular time of the day. Bianca said nighttime for sure, morning. What is morning?
Right.
For me, it just kind of depends on like what mode, what I'm in, what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I work better at night, but sometimes I just want to get my rest at night. I'm trying to become, it's easy for me to become a morning to be a morning person,
Mm-hmm.
Especially like when I was like in basic training and whenever I go away with the
military.
military,
Y'all have to like get up at like what time?
Girl, kind of dawn, 4 or 5 o'clock, but
and make your whole bed and do a whole exercise and everything.
See, and that was easy for me because it's like once I was up and they have you moving, it's like you don't really think about going back to bed. At home, it's a lot harder when you can just go right back to bed, you know what I mean? So it kind of just depends. So Jazza Philo said editing, morning or day, because she does, she's a photographer as well as a musician.
Yes, hey girl.
An overall creative, and then for her music, she said at night. So kind of it just depends on like what it is I have to do and like what mood I'm in. So the next question.
But either way, one thing that like got me is like I always felt like I was supposed to be productive during a certain time, and I feel like it it's really helpful to tell people like let go of that. Like that's like a standard that society set for us, like, you know, as like workers or whatever. So especially for creative people, like that's something that's like God's gift. So it's just like whenever you feel it, like move on that. It doesn't have to be during a certain hour or time because that's not natural. So yeah.
I agree. We can be productive at whatever time we want to be productive. And so the next question, little icebreaker question, and y'all can answer too in the chat. I want to see some answers. What was your first job?
My first job, that's a funny ass question, was actually at was it Abercrombie first? Actually, it was at a call center. Well, actually, no. It was at Abercrombie Kids first. I was like, you know, like the model in the front, that the greeter person at like Abercrombie. I worked at Abercrombie Kids. Like a lot of us did in the Galleria. And then I did this call center job. School still? You said what?
Were you in high school?
Yeah, I was in high school still. Yeah, but before that, my mom would like pay me to clean the house, like type shit, like stuff like that. But job, I would say
real job.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, we got some answers. My girl
Burger King
said Burger
Sonic.
King, and Sonic
you were roller skating?
That's live. So my first job was at McDonald's. Actually, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. I worked there my junior and senior year, as well as ran track, went to school, worked. So like from a very early age, my parents taught me how to be self-sufficient and, you know, work. And my brother worked there as well. When I was in my junior year, my brother was a senior. So he had been working there because I had just moved there. He kind of went to high school, his whole high school there. And that was a really fun job. Like that taught me, girl, you used to run that McDonald's. No, for real, they trusted me with a lot of stuff. Like,
so should we be eating McDonald's from somebody who worked there or nah?
I eat McDonald's.
I love the fries.
Yeah, I love the fries now. And I will say we were like the top like McDonald's in our area. We were right off the freeway. So on the weekends, we got busy. I would train people. I became like a team lead, a trainer, and all that great stuff. And it kind of what started like me loving to kind of tell people what to do. Let me see what the comments. GJ said I quit on the day 2 of training when I dropped a milkshake. Someone was an intramural ref in college. Okay, Philo. Yeah, I'll still eat that. I eat, and shout out to Burger King. I like Burger King too.
I love like Burger King. I actually do eat that, like Whoppers and stuff. Not all the time, but whenever I'm just like, F it, let's just eat.
Yeah, I like their chicken fries. Now I'm into like the Impossible Whopper. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. It actually tastes pretty good.
CJ said she's a terror of McDonald's in high school. Was I the plug? Yeah, I was the plug. If you came through my McDonald's, my drive-through, anything, and I knew you, or even like I began to get regulars there. Like
I was really what there?
Yes, I was really hooking it up. So yeah, if you're just tuned in, welcome to Successful Saturdays. I'm your host, G.I. Jada, and today we have Miss Pennie, the host of For Your Thoughts Pod. It's right there. You guys can take a screenshot of the pinned comment, or I think you can just drop down the top title, and you should be able to like just follow her right now without even getting off of here. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. We just did some fun icebreaker questions. So if you want to drop where your first job was, I feel like that's the most interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So who is Pennie? Who is Pennie? Tell the people.
Who is Pennie in what sense? I didn't look at the questions either that you sent because I like it to just be random. But okay,
great. Just like if you know when you introduce yourself to someone new who doesn't know you.
Got you. Okay. So Pennie is a mental health advocate first and foremost, media professional, and a podcast host. She's from Houston, Texas, and she lives in New York City now. And her whole thing is instilling more empathy, humanity, and psychology in media and the entertainment industry. And yeah, she hosts the For Your Thoughts podcast, and
I love her using third person.
Yeah. And she also I feel like I'm a polymath. Like I've done like a lot of different things, but I think that overall the theme in it all is to just kind of like instill more mental health and have us kind of like thinking more so about how we feel, our emotions, like whether that's in like business, in media, in like pop culture, and just so we can just be better people like overall, period. So I've just like tried to do that in every like space that I've worked in the industry.
Yes, well, I'm going to drink to that. Sis.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. What are you having pink Moscato too?
So I mixed wine with like this Reese's drink that I like. Yeah, it's a mix. Mm-hmm.
That was another icebreaker question, was like, what's your go-to drink? Like when you go out.
My go-to drink is like definitely probably Casamigos.
I like a good lemon drop martini. Oh, so my little sister commented, her first job was Foot Locker, and she actually still works there. I think when you started working there, she didn't start working until she got into college, I want to say. Or were you still in high school, or were you in college already? But she's almost done with college now, and she still works there. She's actually an assistant manager, and hopefully next she'll be on her way to getting her own store. And she'd be plugging us in. I love it. So what, well, I think you kind of already touched on it. One of the questions is what motivated you to start your podcast?
So I didn't know that it wasn't like, oh, I want to do a podcast. It wasn't nothing like that. It was kind of like, I knew I always wanted to have a talk show. So like originally I was planning to go to medical school and be a psychiatrist. Like that was like what I was doing for undergrad. And then, me and one of my best friends, Blake, he was like, oh my God, you'd be really good on a talk show. So we ended up doing this talk show called The Continuous Conversation. I'm pretty sure some people have like seen it before. And I really, really did love that. And I was like, okay, I know that I want to be in psychology still, but not in the way that I thought before or whatever. And I feel like it was more so in a sense of like seeing like Whitney Houston kind of, die the way that she did, Michael Jackson die the way that he did. And like, just the way that celebrities and people in these like public figure, arenas were treated, that like not like they were actual humans or whatever. That was one thing that I don't know why when I was younger, it really bothered me. It really was just like, that's so like unfortunate that somebody with such a special gift has to like go through shit to be able to like show their talent, and like they're put on this crazy pedestal. So that was like the original thing, like how it happened. But then after going through life and shit, and actually like family members and myself and my friends, like seeing like what depression and anxiety does to like people you actually know, and like how it really doesn't have a face, I was like, yo, like this is something that like needs to be tapped into, and I didn't know how. So then I was like, I went to school for graduate school here in New York, the New School, and I studied media studies and management just to kind of really understand like how the press works and like how the narratives are created and stuff like that. Right. And it was in one of my classes there that we had a project, and my project was like my podcast. Like everyone could do a different thing, but I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just do a podcast. But it wasn't even like I was gonna really do it in real life. It was like so I ended up doing that, and it was like and then I was like, oh my God, I love this, and then I just made it an actual thing. So that's how it was nothing that I just like thought I was going to do, It just kind of happened. So, yeah. And
I do see someone has a question. I'm glad they asked. I'm going to get to it as well. Maybe a little bit more so towards the end. I'm going to definitely get to that. It's a question that I already had. And one of the podcasts that I listened to, I think maybe the very first one I ever listened to, that was the first thing you did was like drop exactly how you can start a podcast and like the tools that you use. So we definitely gonna spill some of that information. Yes. But I want to ask you next, what are some fears that you've had to overcome along the way?
So first I want to say that like fear is like fake, like it's not real. It's like all in our head. So I don't even want to say, but naturally we definitely all have those things. But at first, I honestly was very much so fearless. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the way it all happened, like I read this book called The Secret, and I really was just like, okay, I think we talk about this all the time, like personally, offline, like just like the power of the tongue and like kind of like the way that you think is like what's gonna come out or whatever. And I really was like confident in the fact that I have like a gift to do this, and it wasn't like it came from me. I know it came from God. So it's like through Him, like I cannot fail. Like there's no way I can even, and if I am scared, that's me not believing, in, like my gift in Him. But naturally, of course, we do have fear. So later the fears start to come was I would get really anxious for shit like this. Like I would get like so anxious. This is wild. And it's just like I would literally be like before I had to interview somebody, I like my heart would beat, like I would be shaky, like shit like it was just mind blowing because I'm just like
totally relate, girl. Before we were doing this, I'm like pacing back and forth.
And we're friends, you know?
Yeah.
And we're friends and it's still kind of like nerve wracking because we care so much about it, you know?
Yes.
And we want it to like go good. So like that's where I would say like the devil starts like creeping in a sense. It's like trying to make me think that I'm not who I am and like I guess like kind of like imposter syndrome in a sense or whatever.
Yes. Make us doubt ourselves.
So I was scared about that. Yeah.
What are some things you do to kind of get over that? I mean, I feel like it never goes away. I've gotten better.
Right. So I definitely meditate. I meditate and I pray before like anything now. I practice because if you practice and you know you just like do that whole thing, and then I just really have to put in my head like whatever's gonna come out my mouth is from him, so it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. Like I already know. So I just try to have like reinforce that thought.
Yes.
And I was also scared about like not fitting into like the TV host situation because I don't like the way I might articulate myself or the fact that I'm not like the typical black girl that we see in the media. Like that was a thing a little bit as well. But I tried to like knock all that shit out of my head. I'm like, no, I can't think that way. But those were and then also just failing because my parents are African. I'm the first person in my family, me and my little brother, to kind of like do anything that's not the norm of like doctor, lawyer. So just kind of like failing and like not being successful was like a fear, of course. But
yeah, and I feel like some things.
But we don't do that. No fear. We don't do that.
Is being just really prepared. Like I will say, for instance, like last weekend, I wasn't the most prepared and I feel like I didn't give my best and I was very, very nervous. I got on here and was like forget like everything I wanted to say just went out of my head.
Right.
But the times where I'm just really prepared, I sit down, I write my stuff out. Like even now on my table in front of me, I have all my stuff. So it's like I forget what I say. Okay, just look down. It's right here.
Yeah.
So just being prepared, like you said, practicing, you know. So some
literally
people,
practicing.
Yeah, some people get really nervous when they come on here because they're like, I've never been live before, you know. And I tell them, well, just randomly throughout the week, you know, because I try to have everyone prepared like that Monday before, give them the whole week, and I'm like, just go randomly, just go live on your page, and get used to that, you know.
Yeah, like, and it's not as it's like I feel like a lot of the mistakes that us on the others like that we think people can see, only we can see. Because I would like record a podcast and I would be thinking, oh my God, you said, because I say like a lot. That's one of my things. And I try to make it not happen, but it happens anyway. And I would literally count how many times I say it, and my dad or my friend will listen to it and they'll be like, I didn't hear that at all. So it's kind of, you know, it's a mental thing for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely we're our worst critics, you know what I mean?
Right.
So another thing I want to ask you is like, what's your most proud accomplishment, you know, since starting your podcast?
Ooh.
If you
with
have
the podcast specifically,
or even just in life in general, your most proud accomplishment.
I haven't even thought about that. I would say, I think that what makes me the most proud and makes me feel good is like when people say that the podcast, something in that helped them mentally for real, or it like inspired them, or if I get DMs and someone's like, yo, I've talked about like, you know, friends that have bipolar and stuff like that, and someone saying, oh my God, you helped me with the situation with like someone in my family who had bipolar. Like that type of stuff is just, that's what makes me super duper proud. And then of course, you know, all the cute stuff like being featured in different, you know, on different platforms and stuff like that. That's another thing too. And I think also just like the amazing women that I've worked with, just that happen naturally that I've looked up to before, like Vashti Cola, Karen Civil, and I just sometimes be looking up like, how did I even get into this room, you know? Yeah. Those moments have me just like flabbergasted, honestly. I just be like, what the hell? This is crazy.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I was gonna ask you, you know, like, are there any women that you just couldn't believe you got onto your podcast?
Well, actually right now I keep it right now everyone that's on the pod has kind of been not a friend, but it's someone that I know. There isn't been someone who I've just, I don't know, not like anyone like that yet. Yeah.
Because that's
but I think just it's more so about working with some like Bashi, for instance, like that's somebody who I just never saw myself being even that close to. Like that's like I just never saw that ever coming because I looked up to her my whole life. She's like a sneakerhead girl. She's that girl. Yeah, and she was like the influencer before influencing was even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she's the first woman to have a Jordan sneaker, and it's just so crazy that I just was with her for like 2 years of my life here. I worked with her, so that's one really big accomplishment to me, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're just making my dad and my mom, like, they finally see the vision. My mom has always saw the vision, but my dad seeing the vision, like, that's a whole other story. So just having him be like, wow, I really understand what you're doing now, and I'm proud of you, like, that's huge.
That is really, really dope. But I feel you, like a lot of my guests on here, I know them personally. And that's one of my main reasons for starting this, because I wanted to, highlight the people that I know and give everybody a different perspective on the different routes that you can take in life and how we can all help each other, like the more you guys support us, the more we can give back to you. And I want to be able to expand it, and now my goals are working with people who I don't necessarily know. I feel like I had one person on here who I never met in life before, but we've become, even though we still haven't met in person, she's become like a great friend to me. As far as my brand, she helped me get into the publication that I've been on so far with Voyage Houston. So shout out to her name's Jasmine Lemon. She's a realtor.
Hey, Jasmine girl.
So I never met her before, and just from doing that interview, when she got an opportunity to put me onto something, she thought about me. So it's just great.
And you really just have to like reach out, and because like your natural bubble might not be those people that you're trying to get to. And you're amazing. So I'm pretty sure like if anybody meets you, they're going to literally love you. Like you need to like believe and always like walk in that. Seriously. So,
and that's one thing you always tell me. My good sis, she always tells me that.
Seriously.
I love it. Thank you. I'm trying, because like I said, we can be hard on ourselves. We doubt ourselves. It's natural, but we have to practice, reinforcing those positive thoughts and knowing what we're good at. Shout out to my friend Courtney that just commented from credit class. So she's another woman. Everyone that's just tuning in, I have a long list of women I've been shouting out who have been on my Successful Saturdays. I call them my alum, my OGs, my Successful Saturday OGs. Now Pennie is now an OG.
Yes.
So the next question, and kind of what someone asked earlier, is what advice or even just encouraging words would you give to someone specifically who wants to start a podcast? Because that was their question too. What advice, someone wants to start a podcast, what will you tell them?
I would say, one, just do it. Like, don't think that you need to have all these, like, you can do it on your phone. See, I wish I would have just, like, so many times I'm like, okay, I have to go to the studio. I have to have this sound. I have to have this camera. I have to have these graphics. And it's like, no, like, just do it. I think it was Kim on stage. She was like, you got to be okay with literally putting out, did he say 100 episodes? 100 episodes, like, and act like no one's going to see all those 100 if you want a successful podcast, because it's really all about consistency and just really putting the thing out there. And then that's how you build a podcast. Like that's the math to it. And then also you have to have niche and good content. Like just don't be on your podcast talking about the normal stuff like $20 dates and shit. Like the shit that people be talking about. Like it's just like, no, like find your niche and don't do it just because it's the thing to do. Because there's so many out there. It's like oversaturated, but not if you are doing something that is seriously like uniquely you. So consistency, be 100% yourself, and don't overthink it. Right. Just do it. Right.
So that was Don't Quote Me Pod who asked that question. Then they just said great advice. Thank you. And I'm going to have to check their page out.
Yeah, girl, just do it. So many times I didn't put my podcast out because I just thought I needed so much. And I could have been, even me personally, I feel like I could have been further if I would have just done it anyway with my iPhone. Like,
yeah. So what's like one of the main apps like someone would need to get to do the podcast?
Anchor.
Yes, and that's the one that
Anchor is like number one. Anchor, you can literally, it distributes your podcast to all platforms like Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Stitchers, everything. And you can also record with people, kind of like how we're doing this on live. Yes. You can do the audio in that same way, and then it'll save and go into the thing. And you can edit there, everything. It's the best. Yeah.
I don't know if our girl, our sister, I don't know if Nisha's on here, but that's great information for her. I know she's looking to get that work or something. She'd be
such a good podcaster.
Yes, I know she wants to have it now, so I definitely got to make sure she gets this information. And shout out to her. I had her on Successful Saturdays to do her get that work. So my girl Island Ting. Okay, and let me see what other questions. Oh, I definitely skipped the most important one. Mm-hmm. What does success mean to you?
Ooh, that's good. To me, success honestly means like what I noticed or like kind of came to revelation as of recently is like you could have like all the things in the world, all the connections in the world, all that stuff, but like if your inner peace and your inner joy and all that stuff is a struggle bus and isn't truly there, like none of that matters, you know? Like I feel like I've been in what people would think on the outside better spaces before, but I wasn't feeling my best on the inside. Mm-hmm. And now I feel so like from the inside out, I feel so good. And it's just like, that's really what success is. Like first work on your inside so that everything that you do is truly like aligned to you. And it's not what you think you're supposed to be doing, how you think you're supposed to be acting, who you think you're supposed to be around. It's honestly like who God wants you to be around and who you should be around. And it's just like, I wish people would think about that more. Like people think that to get to this level, you gotta like be with these people and do these things. Like hell no, fuck them people. Like you not gotta be with them people. Like you just do you truly. And that's what I've learned like now. And like I've gone through that whole little thing. And it's just like now I'm like, oh, I'm happy for real. And this all feels different and so much better. So
yes, they are feeling you. They said you got all the gems. They said say that again. And then somebody said for the people in the bag.
Yeah, I think like success is really like is alignment. It's alignment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, you just always make me feel so good and so comfortable.
No, you make me feel good too. That's why I'm
here. I was like catching up with some of the podcasts today. I'm like, man, this girl is so just inspiring and
what
fearless.
Episode did you
really
to
are
today?
Fearless. Like she ain't lying when she said she don't really have that, that many.
Oh, I didn't know Bianca was a psych undergrad. I'm reading too. Yes, Bianca. I didn't know that.
See, we learn new things every day. Oh, one thing I skipped over too. What are some things you aim to accomplish in the future? Do you have any current projects you're working on, or where do you want to go with the pod?
So with the pod, I want to make sure that it keeps, happening and keeps growing. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to go back to school to get my PhD or my PsyD in psychology because I just definitely want to be like ultimately a clinical therapist, but still in the industry. Right. Because now, which I knew this would happen sooner than later, but record labels are taking like the hint, like, hello, we need to care about our artists' mental health. And even companies are taking that hint also, like to have those initiatives and stuff. So I want to be like suited and booted for when that's really a thing. And have like I guess the letters behind my name, although, and, be able to actually like see people and help them in that sense. And I want to write a book also. And I do want a show, but I feel like now everything looks so different because like people don't even watch TV like that anymore. Yeah. So me and one of my friends, Jacana, shout out to her. You'll definitely meet her one day. She's amazing. Okay. We're working on like a show, like a pitch for a show. And we've just been like doing pilots and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes, Bianca says you're going to be such a blessing to so many.
Oh, thank you.
Don't pod, love the motivation, great idea. So much good feedback. I'm loving this. I'm so excited and to see.
Yeah. I just want really like whatever God wants for me. That's what I want.
That's
honestly,
what you
want. Whenever I pick and choose, it don't be going that well. So it's like I just want to like continue to walk in alignment to wherever that leads me. So
yes. And it'll
Yeah.
be great. And I'm excited. I hope, you know, we can continue to work together and
Of
collaborate
course. No, literally.
in the future. I just want to take a second really quickly to shout out some more people from my Women of Successful Saturdays in honor of Women's History Month. So if you're looking for some women-owned brands to support, we got my last week's guest. I already shouted out A Dose of Health. Okay, and all these you can find. You just go through my IGTV, because that's what I did earlier today. I just went through them all the way. I only have like 3 guys on there, so it's very easy to get my list of women together. But I do want to expand to more kings on there. So, fellas.
That's what I was saying too about my podcast. I don't never have no niggas on my podcast.
I would like to have a male podcast host to come on here too, you know. So, or if you're watching this, you're a male, you have a business and you're professional, because some of y'all I be trying to give the guys a chance, but it'd be hard.
They're amazing. You gotta find the right ones.
Yes. So y'all visit A Dose of Health, get your CMOS. We got ELX Studio, which is a clothing brand. Makes Sense Candle Company, which is owned by 2 women. All right. Shout out to Shop HKP, who just joined. She's a fashion designer, and she also designed my pieces for 42 Alpha. Party with Tay. Okay, that episode was for the Grown and Sexy. Y'all can go see what that was about.
Wait, what was that about?
Shout out to my girl Kedra of Gordon Accounting. All right. I used her to file my taxes this year and got them back pretty quickly. And she also helps with credit repair and things like that, such as my friend Courtney, who I shouted out from Credit Class. And she says she has a few men that she could send your way. Thank you, girl. I'm gonna text you actually, because I've been trying to make more connection with the men to be on here. I don't want y'all to think I'm just super sexist. Shout out to my girl KB Travel, my girl Chris Talks of Beatbox Beauties. And she has 2 brands. Like, her herself is a brand. She's helping other people, you know, auditing their businesses and things like that. And then she also has her own business, which is Beatbox Beauty. Shout out to our sister ZJ of Sinful Eats Catering. She does catering, meal prep. All right. And she's also like the fitness guru. So y'all can follow her and get all of that. Shout out to my girl Candy. She is a spiritual reader. She makes pendants as well. Her Instagram is Dough Goddess. That's DOUX Goddess. She was also on my Successful Saturdays. Obviously, all these women wear. Jazzy Jazz Boutique, if you're looking to shop. And you know what? I always forget to take my phone case off, because I have the cutest phone case, melanin phone case that I got from her. Shout out my girl Miracle Curves. All right, if you want to get snatched, get your waist snatched. Fonse Cosmetics, who I shouted out. If you need a bomb, vegan, like all natural lip gloss, lipsticks, things like that. We got Style by Molina brands, and also Lady Free Vibe of Free Vibe ENT. They both have an episode as well as a meet and greet that they did together. You can watch that on my Successful Saturdays to learn more. We're almost done here. Shout out to my girl Triana Mion, and she is a graphic designer. She designed my graphics and my websites for 42 Alpha. So if you're looking for a women-owned graphics company, she does it all. Shout out to Lookology, who came on here and did a get ready with us. She did her makeup while we interviewed.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, she's a makeup artist, and she hosts, you know, virtual classes and things like that. And she just be serving looks. So make sure you follow. We shouted out Credit Class. We shouted out my girl Jasmine Lemons the Realtor. Shout out to Jillian Williams Productions. And then if you're looking for a fitness trainer, personal trainer, virtual, Body by Bogus, she's in the Dallas area. And she also has a really dope, she just dropped not too long ago her first workout set called the Simone set. It's so, like, I need to get one that's going to really motivate me even more to work out. Shop HKP, we shouted out her. And last but not least, Sophie's Hair Care. And she has a rice water treatment. I've actually been using it, and I was able, before I did my interview with her, she's at like 7 locations here in Houston. So I was able to actually go to the store and purchase the product. It was a fun experience, and I've been using it, and I've been liking my results.
I heard rice water is that girl.
She is that girl. Like, literally, I've been loving it. So that was all my women of Successful Saturdays. I hope I didn't overlook anyone. Oh, shout out to China's Kitchen. I think it's We Are China's Kitchen, because we did an episode. However, I lost it before I could post it. But she's a cook. She's a chef. She has a location in Killeen as well. So yeah, I just love my women. I love them so much.
Shout out to all the women. Happy History Month.
And shout out to all my women tuned in right now.
Jacana just popped in that I was talking about earlier. She just popped in.
We shout you out, Jacana girl.
Yes.
I can't wait to. I'm gonna make sure I follow her. And look, ELX Studio just joined. We shout you out too, girl. My friend Alexis. So all my women doing great things. I have loyal viewers on here every week. Shout out to my Revived Soul sisters. Shout out to all of y'all. Yes. So
yes,
that's pretty much all I have. You answered all my a million questions that I had for you. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything. Yeah, no, you answered everything. Is there anything you wanted to say or touch on that I maybe didn't get to?
I think you got to everything I want to say. I mean, definitely listen to the podcast.
Yes, y'all subscribe.
You guys go subscribe to it. If you like it, rate and review it. Follow my page, and also follow the App for Your Thoughts pod page. It's really funny over there. I always say that it's funny over there. So just go there. And thank you, and thank you so much for having me. Seriously.
No, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
I'm like, my girl Pennie be busy. I'm so honored she made some time.
No, my God, of course. No, I literally would never be too busy for any of y'all. But I definitely I love y'all. I love y'all. So all my best friends in here. Hey Taylor.
Hey Taylor girl.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Do you do a question situation, or we answered the questions from the people already?
From the
at the end, do you do a Q&A, or it's just a?
Oh well, yeah. If I think pretty much everyone's asking their questions.
Okay, cool.
If y'all have some questions y'all want to drop right now, definitely hit it in that box.
You're welcome.
Anything else y'all want to know?
Don't Call Me Pod said she has one more.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and ask it, please. I'm loving this. I'm loving all of you. What do you plan to do for the rest of the day?
So I might go meet up with Lala where Lauren.
I was just wondering where Lauren was at.
She's at brunch, girl. Her ass is at brunch. So I was like, I might go meet up with her. Or just chill. We're gonna see.
Oh, my friend Naomi just joined, and I almost forgot to mention her. What happened to our episode? But shout out to my girl Naomi of All She Co. So that's allshe.co. You can also follow All She Wore, allshe.war, to get some of her merch. You can hit her up. She also does graphic design, website design. Okay, we got two. What advice would you give financially for building a podcast?
As far as, well, first of all, you're not gonna make money for a while, so just know that a little bit. And you can literally make the most out of the least. You can use your phone to do what you gotta do. You can use GarageBand. You can use different stuff. It's not that expensive until it's time for it to be that expensive. So don't really think about the finances of it all. Just use your phone and keep going, and then try to get sponsored posts and stuff like that once you have a good amount of numbers to do so. But yeah, financially, just use your phone. Seriously.
And then the next one is from my girl Steph. Shout out my girl Steph. She be on here faithfully literally every week. She's always engaged, and she's always looking for a good motivational quote. Do you have one? Do you have a favorite quote?
My favorite one is Buddha, the mind is everything, what you think you become. That's my favorite since the 8th grade. So, and it never changes. So I think I would say that. Seriously, the mind is really everything. And it can mess you up, or it could make you great. So you have to really choose. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you. And thank you everyone again for tuning on. If this is your first time tuning in, definitely give me a follow. I will follow you back. And I'm on here every Saturday I try to bring new topics, different topics. And if you would like to promote your brand, your business, definitely let's work together. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hold you all too much longer. Thank you. Comments are like got me smiling. I'm like,
for real.
Thank you.
Oh, I would say like maybe because like any like mental health questions that anyone might have or a topic that they might want to discuss, like that would be like the last thing, if anything. But of course we can bounce. But
I feel like send some things to your DM. Definitely.
Yes, DM me. Yes.
If they because you know what, we're gonna have to get back on here, and we didn't even get to talk about our topic of PMSing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I forgot to put it in the notes. So we can do something on your podcast. We can do whatever. We can get back on here
we can definitely do that.
Any day of the week and talk about that. And if y'all have some things y'all want us to talk about, definitely let us know.
Yeah, because PMS be driving the girls crazy. But okay.
Yeah, we trying to ignore it right now.
Exactly.
That's the goal right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I love you so much.
I love you.
Bye.
I will see you all next Saturday.
Okay, bye. Y'all better go check her out next Saturday, every Saturday. Period.
Y'all better go follow my girl Pennie and listen to For Your Thoughts Pod.
And if you're one of my followers, follow her. Okay. Bye.
We all friends now. We family now.
Right. Bye, girl. Love you. I'm gonna call you after this.
Okay.